Here we are. Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
About anything.
Yeah.
So what we've just done for the camera, we've just met for coffee.
We have.
And we just said, well, let's film, because this is the whole concept behind Wise Women Weekdays was having a coffee morning and chatting about anything. So we're going to just ignore you guys on the camera and just talk about anything. And we were talking about diversity, Black Lives Matter.
Yes.
So take it away.
But wasn't it, was it Martin Luther King or the other guy who said the worst thing for racism is white liberals?
Yeah, there's that actor as well, Morgan Freeman. Yeah, he says something about the way to stop racism is to actually stop talking about it.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
and I tried to make that point. When you describe somebody, you know, you don't describe the colour of their skin,
Exactly.
you describe, you know, what they're wearing and things
All
like that.
people matter, all lives matter.
All lives matter.
Well, I think we would naturally do if it wasn't such this big looming issue, because it makes you think, I mustn't see that, I can't see
That's
that.
right,
I don't,
But you're not born racist, are you? You're not born knowing, I mean, okay, a cow is born, and does it know it's a cow? Does a horse know it's a cow? So when you're born, okay, you're a baby, but do you know if you're black or white or Chinese? You just know you're a baby.
And other kids don't necessarily
They don't,
notice
that's
it.
why
They
it's
describe each other.
it's taught.
They do
Yes,
that,
it's
but
taught.
they'll go, oh, so-and-so with the dark hair, or
Yeah,
but
that's
they
why
won't
they don't see it.
necessarily
No,
notice.
no.
It's funny because my daughter's mixed race, and right from the beginning, because a few people said, oh, why don't you join, you know, the Mosaic, which is all about mixed race, and my thing was, I don't want her to grow up with that, this is what I am, and I go to a special group that then I'm accepted. And as far as I know, she's never had any issues.
Any issues at
She
all?
doesn't really think
Just
about
normal.
her skin. None of her friends have. And I think the more rooted in yourself you are of, well, this is it. It's just, I don't walk around being aware of my hair colour.
No, that's it.
How
It's what's
tall I
taught.
am, or it's like, why should you?
But I think also like social media, you know, and TV, anyway, through movies and pop videos and stuff like that, it's how we look, isn't it? How we look, that's the main thing. And can I just say what we talked about before, which made me think, let's put this camera on, when we were talking about indoctrination through the schools, and Mal, when you were saying, I didn't see it, so a Tucker Carlson video that you shared on our group. Yeah, just say what that's about there.
I don't know her name, sorry, but she...
I'll dig it out.
we can actually put a link on
I'll put it
but it's a
after this
woman who has lived the Cultural Revolution with Mao.
In China. Mao Zedong we're talking about
here. So she was a young student at the time, and she's written a book about how she's seeing the same thing happen in the States right now, which of course is happening here as well. That the first thing that happened was the control in the universities. So it was the more and more the students being divided, and then the students being given more power to attack the teachers if they said the wrong thing, if, you know, whatever came up in class, if the wrong subjects were brought up. And how that started this slow building of the Red Army, which was Mao's student, but the students became the Red Army. And it's a warning, just saying, look, at the moment we're getting more and more divided. There's more and more, the list is getting longer of what you can say, what you can't say, what you're allowed to think. Because even what you do, if it suggests a way of thinking, you can now be pounced on.
Somebody told me that a law has been passed that if you were to criticise the government, they could throw you in jail. Have you heard of that?
I've heard something like that's coming through. I don't know how severe it is, but I mean, there's just recently the case of the guy that's been putting stickers up. Who's been done for 2 years, putting stickers about people coming in to our country.
He's gone to prison for 2 years.
Apparently he's got a 2-year sentence. Whereas you compare it to other people that have come in from rubber boats and the activities that they've been getting up to.
Exactly. They can.
Yes.
I've heard anyway that they can shoplift whatever they like, and as long as it's food or drink, that's it. They don't get touched.
And also affecting, you know, other sexes when they're abusing other
But
women.
there's that Abdul Nasidi mysteriously disappeared. They claim he went into the Thames. Where's his fucking body?
Oh, okay, wow. Who's he?
He threw alkaline in a woman's face and
yes.
hurt her children.
Oh my goodness.
Police stopped looking for him.
So it's all, it's a
It's
bit
the
odd.
two-tier policing, I believe.
Yeah. No,
There's something in your bag down there.
Oh yeah, she's making a nest on the bag.
But
okay.
the next
She
bit.
found food.
But there's always a dog with us, isn't there, which we love. So I don't
Yes.
think you can see this one. This is Molly, who doesn't see very well, does she? But she's doing all right by the looks of it. Yeah, no, it's very scary what's happening. But I was watching something that somebody sent me last night about an ex-sergeant that is speaking out now. He's a whistleblower and talking about the corruption within
army.
within the police force.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
oh my
yeah,
goodness.
in ours. And so a lot of people are coming out saying the truth because we know, don't we? We're just normal women, and I think a lot of normal, whatever normal is.
Are we
women.
normal?
Well, I don't know.
I don't see normality around this.
No, then what is
I don't know
normal?
what
I see extraordinary.
Extraordinary. Wise.
Yeah.
Wise.
Now, but talking about the police force, I was listening to a lovely retired police sergeant who's been a bobby all his life. And he said when he was a young police officer, actual bobby, they were called constables. And their job was to look after local people and make sure they were all right and basically be helpful.
Yes.
You know, assist the old lady across the road, make sure the kids got to school safely, literally chat over the fence with a lady. So to protect people and help people. But he was saying that somewhere along the road, they've gone from being polite constables to help the community to enforcement officers that enforce the interest of business and, I'm sorry to say, also government.
Yes.
Even though government is elected to represent the wishes of the population.
Yeah.
So they should be asking people constantly, what would you like us to do? Are we doing it right? That's their job.
Yeah,
That's their job.
Yeah.
And it seems to have somehow got
It
completely
has.
foggy, and now suddenly we get people telling us what to do,
Yeah.
telling you what you're allowed to say.
Yes.
Excuse me, you're a free citizen. As long as you're not hurting anybody, you can say exactly what you want. You should do, because that's how we create, a universal kind of agreement, because we have 4 different points of view.
Yeah,
We
of course.
politely discuss it.
That's
we
what makes life
listen to
interesting.
the pros and cons of each
Democracy.
other's, and then we decide what's
Yeah.
best together.
Well, you know that's why they're called police officers now, because they are officers. They are working like in an office in corporate Britain, because everything has become incorporated.
Yeah.
So we're not living in a free democracy.
I don't remember
which is-
voting for that.
No, we didn't vote. It's just happened. And when you know your common law, which I don't know enough about, I know a little bit, but when you really do know your common law, you can start taking it back, which is what I think a lot of people are trying to do.
Well,
you know.
I think in a very polite and gentle way, that's exactly what people have to do.
They do.
Because your rights are just as great as the rights of somebody who sits in Westminster, and that needs to be respected.
Well, it's like public servant, isn't it? I mean, all these
Yes.
MPs, all of these people in government and the police force and the fire brigade and the hospitals, they are public servants, meaning they serve the public. We are the public.
That's
Serve
right.
us, don't dictate to us. So,
Yeah, because we pay their wages through taxes.
Yeah.
They are here to serve us.
mm,
They are public servants, and we need to remind them of that
yeah,
at the beginnings of interactions with them.
absolutely. And I think also we have to be very careful what we say. I know it's freedom of speech, but I think we have to be very careful for what we say, because you can start joinder, which is if you have a conversation with a police officer and you can say I'm sort of having the right to remain silent, which is I think the best thing to do. But if you start having conversations with them, then you create a contract. You started to have that contract.
How many people actually know that?
Hardly any.
Yeah.
Hence, I think that's why it's quite nice that we sit here as wise
Yeah.
women
Yes.
and talk
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm going to be on the Richard Vogue show on tomorrow. Is it Thursday? Yeah, tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah, we're doing a live show about common law, and
Oh,
I'm just
great.
going to be like on the computer because we're live to hear what people have questions. And we've got a couple of people on the panel that are experts in this world of common law. But it isn't just, it's not as neat and tidy as you like to think, like fill in a form and then you get your freedom back or your liberty back.
No, you have to fight for it.
You have,
And
it's
you
a
have to
spiritual-
educate yourself as well.
Spiritual, intellectual fight, not
that's
a
right.
fisty
that's right.
one.
And it is a battlefield, and you have to be prepared to
Yeah, if it was that
lose
simple,
things.
many people would do it.
Yeah, so it's a risk. You can't just go in and just say, well, it's mine, I want it back. You're going to have to really do the work, which I think is why we're here. It's not on this planet
exactly.
to do the work, to be nicer, kinder, loving people.
So yesterday, a conversation came up in the car about councils going bankrupt. Yeah, so if people are paying their council taxes, how can councils go bankrupt?
Yeah, how they spend it.
Yeah,
What are
Exactly.
they
That's
doing
what I'm
with
saying,
our
exactly.
money?
Well, you
Well,
realise what they're doing.
I
we've
mean,
got a lot of-
I heard from somebody who seemed to think he knew that councils have been in debt in huge, enormous debt for a long, long time, and they're all owned by offshore corporations. It's not your local government council at all, it's some offshore business. And a very large amount, I'm sorry to say, of the council tax goes to their pensions. That's the first thing.
Well, I didn't know that, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. And then expenses.
Well, I remember the thing, do you remember, was it 10 years ago, 20 years ago, we all lose track of time, but when, was it the Conservative government getting done because of all their expenses, like we were paying
the
their
birdhouse.
the duck pond and stuff like that.
I remember that.
Yeah,
Yes.
but that sort of went under the carpet. So when you've said what you've said, that doesn't amaze
So,
me.
I actually have a huge gripe about. Do you want to carry on?
Well, I was going to say that, the government do that, they defraud the system, but if somebody does a little bit of cleaning work whilst signing off
with your head.
Off with your head. And it's like this double standards across
No.
society.
Yes.
It's wrong.
That is wrong.
And I've said it before and I'll say it again, we're coming for you.
Watch out.
Oh dear.
Well, there is a chance.
Unless, of course, you wish to represent the population and be fair and kind and equitable, then we love you.
Then we love you, then join
Yes,
us. Join us.
exactly.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, isn't it? Because we all want, good things for our family.
But
and our
maybe
family.
Wise Women Weekdays should become a political party.
Oh, can you imagine? But I honestly think that the way the politics is at the moment it's got to change, because at the moment you've got one person that isn't even elected who's running our country, who's married to a billionaire. That doesn't seem right. Telling us what we can and can't do. It's got to go back to community-led.
Yes.
So
Exactly.
we
Which
decide what
was
we want.
the original purpose of government in the first place.
That's right. Yeah.
I have a huge gripe about the councils at the moment, because I'm very fortunate to live in a small village that has been, let's say, it's been around all my life, and up until about 5 years ago, or 10 years ago, we were never flooded. We were never flooded. So my entire childhood, my entire growing up, my entire life, we were never flooded. And average annual rainfall actually hasn't gone up on an annual level.
Yeah.
But for the last 10 years, systematically, every year getting a little bit worse, we've been flooded. And this year, we were cut off from civilization for 2 weeks. And neither Forestry England, nor South East Water, nor the Environment Agency, nor the council, nobody gave a poo. They literally.
What do you mean when you were cut off? Then what were the roads?
Our lane was flooded so high that a normal car would have just died down. Let's say if you walked in your wellies, the water would come into your wellies. That's how high the water was.
A boat or a wave.
Well, we had to trudge the long way around through the forest on foot to get out. But my whole point is, why has it only happened in the last 10 years? And if somebody tells me, oh, it's global warming, I will get slightly irate. Because all my childhood and all my growing up years, there was one bloke, one labourer, who cleared the ditches. He kept the little streams clear. He scythed the banks beside the ditches, and he cleared away any dead debris and branches. And the water flowed out of the little ditch, and it flowed down the valley, and it flowed out the river. And we never, ever
So that person
got flooded.
So his job's gone basically.
Yeah, his job went ages ago. But the government don't clear it anymore. So
exactly.
They've decided that the gully doesn't need to be cleared anymore.
So instead they let you flood, and you're paying your money goes.
And we're paying a lot of council tax, and it's just completely wrong.
So have you tried? In your village, have you tried to do anything? Are you going to do anything?
Well, they've all been writing polite letters.
Oh, that's sweet.
But so far nothing has actually budged.
But at least they are beginning to make a bit
the
of a stand.
villagers are trying to make a stand.
Right.
But the corporations, that manage the forest or manage the water, have not done anything to alleviate the situation. They've done nothing.
Could you do it yourselves as a workforce?
We could, and I
just wonder if you
think we
did it
should.
1 year and filmed it
yes.
and showed that we've done this, no flooding, we've flooded up, and then it's there. There's no way.
I would love to
and then
that,
pay yourself for council
but I
tax.
believe that Forestry England and also South East Water would initially say, no, that's our responsibility, you can't touch it. So they renege on their responsibility. They don't do what they're required to do to just keep our village accessible. That's all we ask.
But just wondering if you
And
were
yet
standing there saying, we're doing this, you either do it or
To
we're
prove a
doing
point.
it.
Well,
If
when
they
we
had
cleared our
to do
pond, because they did nothing and it was all a huge mess, they got very irate and said, it's not your responsibility, you're not allowed to. Then they left it, of course, because the pond looked great. and the ducks were happy,
Yeah.
so it was all fine. But initially, the official, whatever institution that managed the pond told us that as villagers we're not allowed to touch it.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Maybe just film them all.
Yeah.
If you do the whole thing
we
again,
will,
and
we
just
will.
go,
I think that's a good
get them
idea.
to put it in writing, whatever they say, or say it on camera, and then just see what happens. Because chances are,
Film is it's powerful
yeah,
and
I mean,
Especially in this day and age,
So,
age
yeah,
of Aquarius, it's all
yeah.
about the film and the airways. But on that sort of message of councils and where our money goes to, if you think, well, it should be going to the roads and the riverbanks and the police and the schools and stuff like that. So I've got this place in the Isle of Wight, and I was trying to, there's a little flat that I was trying to sell, and I couldn't sell it. For 2 years I couldn't sell it for various reasons. It didn't have a parking space because I won't go into the details. Anyway, it was quite difficult to sell. So then the council in the Isle of Wight contacted me and said, because it's been empty for 2 years, and it was on the market, bearing in mind it's on a private road, so they're not maintaining the road, there's no lights outside because it's a private road. I didn't live there, it's a holiday property, so I didn't use the schools, I didn't use the hospitals, I didn't really use anything that I would be paying my council tax to. So because it had been empty for 2 years, they changed the council tax payments to, guess how much?
They increased them.
They increased it.
Oh my
For an
God.
empty property.
By 100%.
No, they
Yes.
doubled it.
They doubled it. And this is coming to a council near you folks. It's coming to a council near you. So I think Brighton and Hove, I'm sure I saw something through my letterbox the other day about flats that if they're empty, then they're going to increase the council
And
tax.
what is their justification for doing that?
To encourage us to let the property, to sell the property, to do something, just to get more money.
Yeah.
But the point is the money, you know, the council tax that I was paying, it wasn't benefiting me personally, but I have no problem in paying my share
Yes.
to help people. I have no problem if it's to benefit the community. The money here that we pay is going to wars that we do not agree,
Yes.
proxy wars, and to
Yes.
go to people that are uninvited, that turn up on our shores,
Yes.
that live in nice hotels,
Yeah.
and
And we're never asked, can we get them in? We're
No.
never asked,
no,
they're never given a justification of why they all come in, but local hotels are full of young men
young
who
men.
just stroll around, strong young men, and steal alcohol and steal food from local shops.
That's right, and cause
What
damage.
is this?
Yes.
What is
yeah.
this?
What is
Yeah,
going
what's
on?
going on?
And also, they need to stop these boats because a little 7-year-old girl went overboard the other day and drowned in the channel.
Really?
Oh my
And,
goodness.
you know,
Yeah.
it's
Just
not
another number
okay.
to
It's just another number.
But I'm surprised there was a little girl on that boat actually, because you know, if these are refugees fleeing war-torn countries, where are the majority of the women and children? It seems like they're being left behind, and the young men are coming here. And I don't know how true it is, but I've heard some of them get on the plane and go back for the weekend. Do you know? I don't know how true that is.
Yeah, again, I don't know how true
No.
the little girl falling overboard
No.
into the water is
No.
because it was on mainstream media.
Oh, okay. So the token child,
The
that we're
token
rescuing
child,
from,
yes, to
the
detract
bombing.
from the army of
yeah,
fighting
young men.
age men coming in.
Yeah, that are living quite nice lives, I think, in our communities.
Well, they're given mobile phones, aren't they?
And
As soon as they
debit
arrive,
card,
yeah.
when they arrive, yeah, and they can top it up. And you can actually go onto the government website now, and if you're what are they called, refugee, immigrant or something, yeah, and you can type in and get all sorts of goodies. Yeah, just go on the government website.
And what about the British working classes?
Exactly.
I'm one of them.
What about
What
the-
do I get?
Or what about the guys who fought the Second World War, the veterans?
That's right.
Yeah, like my granddad. Or the homeless veterans that fought in
Yes,
Iraq
exactly.
and Bosnia.
I know.
And then there's the guy on the bridge collecting for them. I always donate to the veterans.
But
Yeah.
surely you must put all of them in a lovely hotel before you
Surely.
even consider bringing somebody who, well, we don't know. I mean, if they really are refugees in danger of being killed, well, of course they need help.
Absolutely.
No
yes,
questions asked.
absolutely.
But we don't know about that. And
No.
if it were the case, then surely it would be publicised that we need to help these people. But it's all cloak and dagger.
Yeah,
underneath.
exactly.
They just arrive
Yeah,
and nobody
something very
knows they're there.
suspicious. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
whereas our wonderful older guys
I
who
know.
fought for this country
I know.
are,
And so many of them
Penniless.
are traumatized.
and many are on the
Yes.
street.
Yeah,
I
they are.
think of my wonderful friend Scott, and he served in the special boat services. You know, he really gave service to this country from the age of 18 to 38, 39, and he broke his back in service.
Oh.
And I don't believe he gets any perks or benefits in life because he gave his youth for
Yeah,
this country.
Exactly. I know the loyalty to serve your country, what's happening to our country. It is, it's tragic.
Yeah.
It's very sad. But what I'm going to do, unless anybody wants to say anything, I'm going to turn the video off now because I know Leanne's got to resolve. Yeah, like, subscribe, comment, please, and let us know what you want us to chat about. Because this works out well, doesn't it? Our little poppy.
Yeah, and I think there's lots of things that I like about this.
I think we might make this a regular.
Yeah,
just talk randomly. Anyway, thank you for watching. Do like and subscribe. I haven't got my little clicker with me, so I'm going to have to do that.